In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how the lightning rod actually works in Minecraft. Now in 1.17, they actually added the lightning rod. The lightning rod actually attracts lightning all over, and it attracts it so that it doesn't hit your wooden house or anything flammable that might get hit by lightning during a thunderstorm. Now, an area for Java Edition is 32 by 4 by 32, and that covers this much space. As you can see in the dripstone, this whole space is 32 by 32. And for Bedrock Edition, it actually covers a 64 by 64 by 64 area. As you can see, this is a 64 by 64 by 64 area. As you can see, it covers this whole 4 squares, and that is for Bedrock, which Java Edition is basically 1/4 of that. But the lightning rods are still really useful in Java Edition as well. So let's get into it. And starting off, here is some lightning rods for examples. As you can see, I'm on Java Edition currently, so every square I have covered with 4 lightning rods. Now you only need 1 per area, but I've covered with 4 to actually show you guys how the lightning rods work. So if I turn thunder on, as you can see, lightning will slowly get attracted to the lightning rods. Now the lightning rods will actually prioritize the ones on the bottom rather than the ones on the top. And as you can see, it attracted to the most bottom point over here. And it did here for the same, but it attracted a little bit higher. Another strange thing about the lightning rods is the height doesn't actually matter. Now over here it actually says a 32 by 4 by 32 area, meaning 4 is the height, but it actually doesn't matter for the height. But now that we got all of that out of the way, how do you actually make the least amount of lightning rods for your house so that you're not spamming it like torches? As you can see, I built a house right over here with a lightning rod on it. Now, as you can see, the lightning rod has a 32 by 32 area on the ground, which is marked out by the moss blocks. Now, as you can see, a lightning strike actually hit right over here and caused fire to go around, which is pretty bad for the house. So instead of placing your lightning rod on top of your wooden house, just like so, you probably want to actually put it higher, so you can actually build up a little bit. I would recommend doing this with another block. As you can see, you can just put it a little bit higher so that no fire actually touches your house, which is very important if you do not want it to burn. But the rain most of the time actually catches the fire, stopping it from burning. But as you can see, that time no fire was on your house. So make sure you put it at least 2 blocks above your house. And if your house or your structure is bigger than this, you have to take into consideration your 32 by 32 area. Now obviously placing it in the middle, just like so, will cover that around. So make sure you're taking measurements to actually use the least amount as possible. But what if you actually don't want to take any of the measurements because that takes too long, or you actually just don't like the design of the lightning rod but still want to actually keep your house protected? What can you do? So if I go up here, just like so, as you can see, I have a lightning rod. Now this really helps if you actually don't like the texture of it, or you just don't want it to be visible on top of your build. So you can do this by putting a lightning rod at 120. Now 120 is here. There is not an official height limit, but from my testing, I'm pretty sure that it only actually works if you put it at 120. Also, something I forgot to mention is that it is actually 120 above your ground. So just remember that it's 120 blocks above where your ground is. That was on a flat world, so it was a 120 directly, but you may have to change it depending on where things are. But obviously you don't have to cap it at 120. As you can see, this one got struck all the way at 208, with the ground being just about 92. So just try to put this at 120 or below to be safe. But you can still put it pretty high in the sky to where the lightning rod is barely visible. As you can see, you can barely see it from on the ground. As you can see, it's just a little speck. And there does not need to be a ground. I only put a copper block there just to test where lightning will strike. Now once again, I would really recommend this if you do not actually want to see the lightning rod. But just try to put it at 120, you don't need a block below it, so it can just be just like so. But you can obviously put it one higher. but I would recommend 119 and below just to be safe. But there's a really cool way to actually block your builds, and you can just spam as many of these on top without having it look really bad on top of the building. What you could also do is put the lightning rod on the ground next to the building so that it actually does not hit the building, rather it redirects it away from the house. Now obviously it will strike the one closest to the bottom, so make sure that you do that, because then it will actually just strike there. But if I remove it, it will actually strike the one on top of there. Other things that the lightning rod can do. Now, lightning rods can do a bunch of things. In Bedrock Edition, when you actually strike something with lightning within a lightning rod's range, it will actually attract the lightning that is summoned to the lightning rod. But this obviously does not work in Java. This also works with the command /summon lightning bolts. Now when you do that, it will be attracted to this. Another thing that the lightning rod actually does is you can actually hit it with a channeling trident in both editions. As you can see, it just strikes lightning with the channeling trident, letting you strike lightning without having to hit a mob. Now that's pretty useful if you want to do some sort of redstone around this, because that leads on to another topic, that this actually activates a redstone. As you can see, if it's activated, it will actually give off a redstone signal. As you can see, the light lit up. So you can do some really cool redstone hidden stuff. And lastly, to not drag on this video any longer, it can actually change oxidized copper and any of the copper states back to the original copper. As you can see, if I strike this, it will actually change copper all around it. Now this can be useful for making a roof that actually changes every time lightning strikes it. But anyways, that's the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If I helped you protect your house or any of your builds that may catch on fire, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a lot. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.